What's up, everybody? We're back in studio, or I am in studio. We're all in our own studios. Episode 233. The episode numbers are starting to trail off in my memory. Josh is writing out the show notes now, and so I don't keep track as much. So thanks for that, Josh. Josh and Nick are here. Ben, married man, not here tonight. He just got married a few days ago. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit. But I wanted to shout out our presenting sponsor, TitanDiscGolf.com. TitanDiscGolf.com has competitive pricing, pictures of every single disc. The disc you see is what you get, and they have over 35,000 disc selection. If you order from them and you use code Staggered Stance, you get a discount on as much as they can give you. I would use the word legally, but I think it's not even legal. It's just like they want to have a good partnership with people, and they are only allowed to do a certain amount of discount. Try it out. Free shipping over $75, which in the world we live, tariffs or no tariffs, it's only a few discs, maybe a couple discs, three, maybe you get 4 discs. I don't know. Nick, you got a lot of discs behind you. I'm sure you could sell them right off the TitanDiscGolf.com and people could buy them there.
I would happily do that. That actually sounds like a great idea. Matchlay Block, hit me up. I'd love to get rid of about 90% of these discs. So
I wonder if Matt has any Night Carl.
Nope, probably not.
So there,
but actually, soon enough, I'm hopefully going to do some clinic stuff here in Massachusetts. But this is
I got a green screen craziness. That looks sweet.
Yeah,
dude.
what the heck? I was going to say the green screen actually makes it.
Wait, you don't have a green screen. So
I don't have a green screen behind me. I have no idea why it's doing that.
Sit tight. We're going to fix that.
Anyways, I'm trying to do this with being smart. It's a dragon, which I've been obsessing about dragons, and then I have a knight riding the dragon. There are 2 tattoos of mine. I have a knight on my arm, and then I have a dragon on my forearm. So wanted to incorporate them together. Shout out to Kobe on Art. He does incredible disc design. So anyways, hopefully going to try to sell a bunch of these because I got about 200 of them and a bunch of cool different selection of discs. So anyways.
Well, if you're not buying from Nick, you're buying from TitanDiscGolf.com. Josh and I are both wearing these hats. Nick, I saw you wearing TitanDiscGolf.com at Team Challenge on Saturday.
Yeah, I have the hat. It's actually in my car, and I brought my work truck home
wears it all the time.
So I wear it literally every single day. It's my work hat. It's my casual hat. It's my disc golf hat. Speaking of Team Challenge finals, Matt, what happened? You wanna break the news? I know this is for locals.
Oh yeah, so locals. Well, it is local, and it's also becoming a little bit more well known because we've got a handful, 4 or 5 touring players who are actually competing in New England Team Challenge finals. Casey White flies back or drives back, whatever he does.
He drove back.
Okay.
Yep.
Casey White comes back. Simon is in town. I don't know if that was coincidence, but he's been playing Team Challenge most of the year. You got Paul Krans, who we're actually going to be talking to a little bit later, and we'll explain why. Harry Chase. And I don't think Marky Chap's doing it anymore in touring, but he comes back.
Used to be a small-time touring
You
guy.
got Nick Carl back in town supporting his team.
I didn't play this year, supporting. Yep, just supporting this year.
And then you got a whole bunch of other awesome pro players, local, playing in the A pool division. Now I'll just put all this together. Nick says, do you want to break the news? I want to give a huge congratulations to the original Team Buff. When I say original, when this started, how long has it been now? 12 years? 13? I don't even know.
No,
14?
7.
Yeah, I was going to keep going up.
It's almost 20 years.
Okay. I think I saw some Facebook thing that said I was playing 14 years ago, so it's at least it's got to be.
I think it's 17 years, but I could be
right.
wrong. But I think it's about 17 years.
So they won. It's been a long time coming. Congratulations to Team Buff, or Buffumville is the full course name, but Team Buff taking it down. They were going to be a tough team to beat. Very, 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 very stacked. Imagine a lot of your local pros and some touring players, including Simon Lizotte, trying to beat that team. That would be an epic challenge, and they took it down. Our team eliminated in the first round.
By a single half a point.
Yeah, by half a point. And I don't want to throw anybody under the bus because no match is worth more than another. But with oh man, we have more talk about. Nick, did you
wait? Hold on,
you
Matt,
froze
can I
up.
cut you off?
I hear you.
Yeah. So it just said like camera in use You must have.
Oh, we
permission.
hear you, and we see a nice still image of you. I don't know
Yeah,
what
but
you
I
want to do.
don't. What the heck happened?
So, Josh, when we woke up on
yeah.
Saturday, it was
Same up
like
here.
nearly blizzard conditions in the middle of April. Literally walking out into 6 inches of snow, and it was coming down hard, and we had to play in that. I had a player on my team. Shout out to my buddy Steven. Slipped and crashed into a tree on the way. Cars were everywhere.
Oh, he crashed.
He
like
crashed
his
into a
car
tree
on the way.
Yeah,
Oh,
and he still made it to finals.
Wow.
So yeah, it's
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, snow. Oh, who's this guy?
Oh,
Who's this guy?
oh my goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to do some happy
Yeah.
music here.
Yes. Viewers can see what's happening.
I'm gonna explain
Audio
what's
listeners.
happening here to everybody. So what just happened is Ben joined with his beautiful wife, Olivia. He's wearing a ring. Okay, tell us what's going on, Ben. Welcome to the show.
I'm here on a beautiful Puerto Rican lake. Just kidding. I'm in Charlton. But I got married to
What?
her.
Is that why you look different?
Yeah, just the marriage glow. It changes a man. I got some extra ice on my finger now, and
Golden ice.
feeling real good. My rating in disc golf went up 20 points. Just mentally, so I'm feeling good.
Oh, I was gonna say, did it actually? Because that's insanely
No,
impressive.
mentally. So I recommend everyone get a wife. Nick's on his way there. I believe in you.
Okay. Thanks.
Besides
Oh,
the whole
man.
getting married part, the celebration is part of that, of course, and all that you had go down with that. Some of the key moments that, since you're on here, and I know you're not staying long, some of the favorite moments besides, again, like you walking down the aisle and your wife, that whole part, right? The ceremony's great. You get married. But Ben goes, before we dance, I've got merch. And he screams, he's got merch. And what was that, Ben? You were throwing hats out. It said Kenny established, and it was the date of your wedding. That was really cool, man.
Yeah. Did you guys ever get any?
No,
hats?
I was
No,
at my table eating, and by the time
Yep.
I got out there, dude, they were
Hey.
scooped. They were hot
to-
commodity.
To be clear, Ben, I chased you on the floor trying to get one. Dead serious. And by the time you handed them all out, I'm like, it was your second pass, and I'm like, well, I was gonna wear it on the show tonight, but so it goes.
Oh, dang.
I'm
yeah,
not. I'm not sad. Everybody loved it. I mean, I would have liked one. but,
Collector's
It
item.
was the
Limited
moment was
run.
awesome.
Yep.
Yes, limited
Yeah,
run.
very limited.
That was a lot of fun. And
Very
you
To
didn't
get
cool.
people on the dance floor. You guys
Yeah.
were on the dance floor. There
No,
you go.
I chased you through the crowd on the dance floor. But that's all right.
Second,
And you didn't get injured, being thrown around in the air by everybody.
Dude,
It
I
like-
was in the air probably 2 minutes total, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot. You're normally in the air 0 minutes total every day, but yeah, I was in the air a lot of air time. It was good though. Yeah, I was throwing
You
around
and
a
your
lot.
wife, yeah. That was it was a lot of fun. It was a really good. It was an awesome wedding. It was a fun wedding. Obviously, it's all about you getting married, but you
Thank
did a
you.
great job hosting everybody as well. I mean, I think
Number-
everybody had a good time.
yeah, number 2, Ben, was Nick Carl's cousin giving the best man speech.
Arguably one of the best men speech I've ever heard.
Ever.
I thought it was extremely good.
Everyone says that.
Yeah,
Yep, I'll put words in my wife's mouth, but she was sitting there with me, of course, as my date to your wedding, and she's like sitting back going, I don't want this to end. She loved it. I loved it. I was like, this is excellent. Excellent.
Yeah,
The dude's like a comedian.
sweet.
He should go on tour.
dude, I've been telling him that for a decade. He's the most talented voice actor, comedian, actor, musician I've ever met.
Well, we've got a
He's
spot for him in a
Yeah, we got a
segment on the
segment.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, and that
We gotta
was
make sure of
literally
that.
the best, in my opinion, and I'm not biased. The best man speech I personally ever heard. It was great. It was so good because he started to get a standing ovation before he was even done.
Yeah.
Keep going.
It was like everyone's clapping. But yeah, that's why Nick Carl's cousin is my boy.
the chance of
The
Nick
man.
Carl's cousin. It was awesome. Like, so
Oh, yeah, he mentioned it in the speech.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
it was awesome.
It was good. By the
your
way,
mom-
the chat is all congratulating you, Ben.
Thank
Wanna
you,
make sure
chat.
pass
I
that
can't
along.
see you, but
Yeah, your mom giving a shout out saying when you got married that you hit an ace. She came over to our table after, which I guess you had a few disc golf tables, if you will.
Yeah.
We had the privilege of sitting with Steve Dodge and Simon, and I could go around, obviously, Paul Krans, the table. There's a lot of disc golfers there. She came over, she goes, the disc golf community is great. Did I get that right? He hit an ace? And we're like, yeah, you got it.
yeah.
So that was
no,
cool.
it was awesome. So it was a great wedding. Thanks for coming. I actually have a set of these bowls that came from Melissa Graham. These storage bowls that I'm gonna put to use very shortly here. So they just came in. Appreciate it.
Very nice.
Awesome,
Yeah,
Ben.
absolutely. Thank you.
Well, it is your wedding week, if you will. Your wife's probably looking forward to having you off the show right now. But maybe if you guys want to watch from afar, you can.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We're at our parents' house. They're actually watching right now. They're actually big fans. Obviously, George and Allison. They watch every Monday, and
They're great.
guys got to
Shout
meet
out
them.
George and Allison.
I see them right there. They're smiling. Look at him, George. I see you smiling. I see you.
I'm going to
Shout
be making more hot sauce, as I know that last time they came through, I provided them with some hot sauce I made. I've got big plans for this year, Ben. I'll give you some too.
Sweet. Yeah. And tomorrow I'm getting my first dog. It's a good day.
Whoa.
Wow.
Well, congrats on that as well.
Lots
Congrats.
happening in
Thank
your
you.
life, man. Lots happening.
Yep.
You know what they
thanks
say?
for you.
Happy dog, I don't know what they say. Just never mind.
Happy wife, happy life.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
all right, dude. We'll talk to you later, man. Thanks for swinging in.
Yep. See you guys. By the way, Nick, that stamp is sick. I love it. I'll buy
Oh, thank
some.
you. Appreciate
Yes,
it. I'll give you some.
All right, cool. Bye.
Peace.
Later. You already said it, and we don't want to drone on too long, but it was a great wedding, obviously, because Ben
It was very fun.
and Olivia able to get married, which is the most important part, but the rest of it was fun. Just fun
It was
all around.
It was one of the young. Actually, I will say it was a wedding that wasn't a family member that I knew a lot of people at, so you could kind of bounce around. Evan was there. He was sitting at the table with Dave Chandler, owner of Meadowbrook and Disc Golf 978. And then you had like the Maple Hill Diamonds crew and just a ton of disc golfers, ton of really close family. Obviously, my cousin being there was pretty awesome. And it was a super fun wedding, very lively. The dance floor, the second it opened up, everyone was on it. And it was a great time. Weddings are great.
So that's off Ben's plate now. That means there's room for Expo number 3. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Ben, I know you're always thinking and wheeling and dealing, but you're getting a dog now. So Expo number 3 is off. It's not happening. We just lost Nick again. We'll just keep. Oh.
If anything's working.
I just wish I knew what Nick was doing to unblur it.
Yeah, sorry. I was just trying to mess around with stuff, and I was like, I'll just go off screen for a second. So,
okay.
Anyways, for some odd reason. So, kind of long story short, if my internet just kind of weirdly clicks in and out, we're doing some demo. We have a living room at my house, and then we have kind of a piano room that was like a family room, just casual. There was a middle wall that was separating it, and that wall got demoed today. So, where all the wires were going, we had to reroute all the wires and everything like that. And so internet has just potentially being up and down. And so, yes.
You're good.
That was why.
You're good.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I can see that it does keep fluctuating, and I get these little signal bars on my side. You're sitting with really a yellow color right now.
Really?
So okay. Josh has green. Oh, you just went to orange. So it goes yellow and then orange.
Yes.
And then it might go to red.
Red is bad.
Yeah, and then eventually you come back. So,
and we upgraded our internet too. So
but it has to do with a lot more than like what you're paying for. It has a lot to do with hardware and how it's hooked up. But okay. Moving
eventually
forward,
I'll get a new webcam.
Yeah, well, we can do that too.
Yeah.
All right. So Steve Dodge at our table says, Nick, you moving back? You're like, dude, I am back. Okay, we're jumping all over the place. But seriously, tonight we've got Paul Krans joining the show in about 14 minutes with his buddy, my buddy, our buddy, Harry Chase. Rookie tour year, Harry Chase. And the reason we're bringing Paul Krans on, fun fact, we'll tell him congratulations, but he is now in the top 20 for touring players. And this is his second year. He is now ranked Disc Golf Pro Tour points standing 17th place. Yeah. That's really impressive. And we'll tell him this as well. When it comes to, as we like to talk about, average finishes, and we talk about pop players, officially, according to our stats and pop players, he is so far the pop player of the year. I want to say it's 32 places better on average. 32. Nice. That is epic. There's a few others I want to say that were like kind of close. Justin Rozak, but here's the deal. Justin only has 2 events this year. If he continues to perform well, he may outperform the pop player of the year. But Paul has all 4 events under his belt and currently holds that title. So we'll see how that unfolds. And then I think Micah Groth really close as well, maybe 30 or 31 spots.
I don't know if he's doing too much touring this year. I think he hit a couple events. I don't think he's
he
not
has
doing
2
a
events
full tour.
as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know Krans and Harry Chase, players like that, they are doing the full season, really going at it this year. With some other people like the Rozaks, the Micahs, doing a kind of a mixed season. I don't think they're really hitting the West Coast. They may hit some of the East Coast stuff and kind of staying local to their areas as well. Both very talented players, though.
I'm kind of nervous knowing that Ben Kenny, his wife Olivia, and her parents are watching us. I know they are, but now they just
Ben's
pointed it out.
Too. Yeah.
Oh, and Ben's parents were there?
Well, no. I'm saying like they usually watch every single week as well.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Did he drop a comment, Josh?
Oh yeah,
he
of course
probably
he
did.
Already did. Yeah. Is he streaming it
yeah.
on 3 TVs tonight?
Yeah,
3 different emails.
I said yeah.
Oh, we love our fans. And when I say fans, I mean that in the nicest of terms. That we appreciate you guys listening, not as in like
they are our friends.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So yeah, that's what I was trying to imply. Right. So we'll be getting to that in about 12 minutes. So Josh, where are we going now?
Yeah. So how about the Masters this weekend?
Which one? I'm just kidding.
No, isn't that the interesting thing? I actually want to talk about that a little bit, but
Absolutely.
there were two Masters events, and ironically or not, we don't mean Masters even in the traditional sense that disc golf uses it. It's not an age protected division either. So you've got the Masters tournament, which was the big boy this past weekend.
the greatest tournament, the greatest weekend of golf every single year. There's no competition. The Masters is it. And anyways, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm gonna say that's obviously the one. And I actually we're a disc golf show, so we're not going to dive deep into it, but we can take like 2 minutes and react to that. But the contrast we're saying is the Go Throw Tour had what was named the Eagles Crossing, which is this well-known course in Missouri. But Eagles Crossing Masters Invitational on the same weekend as the Masters. And if you've seen any of the post-produced coverage, it seems like they're definitely, I can't quite yet tell, maybe I'll look for some reactions, but if it's a little humorous play on the fact that it's a nod to the Masters, or are they actually trying to replicate, that wouldn't be quite fair to say, but replicate or play off of some of the actual Masters for their event and trying to build that prestige, which is interesting. Everything from some interesting red sport jackets to the post-produced coverage, by the way, is looking incredible. But even just the way it's all introduced, it just felt a lot like the Masters, and at the same time felt nothing like the Masters. So actually, I've got so many talking points. We may or may not get to them all. But Nick, like the Masters tournament, the big one. Did you take that in this weekend?
Absolutely, as much as I could. Saturday, I was sitting during Team Challenge Finals, so actually during the second round, I was able to kind of just hang out in my car, and I was watching the Masters, the third round of it. And then Sunday, I had a family event, and then after that, I actually went to Simon's house and spent time watching it with his family. Was able to watch kind of the last probably 12 or 13 holes. And it was incredible. I think it's kind of one of those weekends where everyone in the world turns into a golfer and a golf fan. I should say a golf fan. And it's really cool to see. It was great to see Rory finish the career Grand Slam. I thought it was a huge win for the PGA. If you've ever been kind of involved in the PGA versus the Live Golf, I thought that was really, really big for Rory being such a huge advocate on the PGA side of things. he's an awesome player. He's been one of my more enjoyable players to watch. I'm a huge Scotty Scheffler fan, so that's kind of who I was rooting for the weekend. But watching Rory win it was awesome. Great shots. Almost blew it. It was one of those, almost had a major choke job, but was able to take it down in a playoff. I loved that it wasn't an aggregate playoff. It was just go to hole 18, and then I think if necessary, it was to hole 10. Both par fours. Both hit incredible drives. Him and Justin Rose both hit incredible iron shots. I don't really think you call them up shots, but they're not chips either. But anyways, hit incredible second shots. And then Justin just missed his putt, and Rory was able to take it down. So it was really, really cool. I think golf is one of the most impressive things to watch. I love the suspense that every single shot takes a while for it to kind of go in the air, land, and then putting, when they have those huge, 20, 30, or 40-foot putts, it takes forever. And the Masters greens are so fun to watch, and the course is obviously immaculate. That is, the course of all courses. That's the tournament of all tournaments in golf to me, and I think a majority of people. So it was great. It made me want to, I was on Golf Galaxy looking up new irons. I love casually playing golf. It's a super fun relaxer compared to disc golf and other sports. Very enjoyable. A lot of my friends have gotten into it over the last couple of years. So this tournament is kind of, like I said, everyone just turns into a golf fan, at least for the weekend. And yeah, it was exciting. And that's really all I can say about that.
So my reaction was super excitement watching incredible golf. Was it hole 15 that Rory had to do that? I think it's like a cut shot or whatever.
A draw.
A draw.
Yeah.
Like super crazy
draw.
over water, and then he rolled it on the green towards the hole, right?
Mm-hmm.
The skill level of that shot is so high just based off of reactions I see online, based off of what I've experienced trying to play golf. And then seeing somebody do it in a moment where they kind of have to, it's just epic. I will say this in favor of disc golf. Nick, you and I used to have this fun debate about which is harder. I'm not going to do that tonight. But what I do,
please don't.
Well, yeah, what I do want to, I still feel that like, never mind, we're not going down that road. We should do a bonus episode. People can tune in for extra money if they want to hear me rant on something dumb like that. But what I will say, there is something way more beautiful about the flight of a disc, right? That's why people are making these documentaries, flat ball, all this stuff. Hopefully it comes out someday. Watching a disc fly in shape, so much cooler, beautiful on camera. I'm not here to say which is harder or not harder, but when I saw a ball get hit in the air, they just zoom in on this little ball. It's one little ball in the camera. That's it. You don't see anything else. Just this little ball, and you're like, it's just a ball in the middle of a screen. You see it hit, then you see it roll, and you're like, that's cool. That's really, really awesome, right? But the actual flight itself. So that's where I wish, man, we could have the groom, like the groomed quality of that course. Somehow get disc golf there. It will never happen, but somehow, and then somehow get golf to the place where like a golf ball could be like more beautiful in the air.
Well, I think
on camera.
Yeah. There's kind of the different ways to go about this, right? Like watching a disc fly is incredible. Watching an S curve with a forehand or a backhand, watching, long putts, long throw-ins, whatever, are great. Like James Conrad's throw-in is still to this day incredible to watch. Philo Brathwaite's throw-in for Albatross, Nico's Albatross, whatever. For me personally, like I love watching a disc fly through the woods. I like watching an S curve through the woods and kind of really pinpointing, playing fairway golf. I love that. It's awesome. It is a beautiful, beautiful flight, right? But I think everyone can appreciate the skill level that it takes to do that, to throw a disc in the woods 450 feet on a beautiful S-curve line and landing it in the fairway. Like that's incredible. You can also appreciate, like on Rory's shot that you're talking about, him landing on that par 5 on the green, within 10 feet of the bucket. It was insanely impressive, and that was more enjoyable to watch than, yes, I understand when they hit a drive, right?
I'm talking,
when they hit a drive, you're following the shot tracer, and then yes, the ball hits the fairway, and you're kind of like, where the hell is he on the fairway? You see that he's in the short grass.
So I want to reiterate, because I don't think I said it clear.
Bounce.
His shot, I think again, it was hole 15. His shot hyped me so much. I think what happened was like, so I'm not downplaying it anyway. I'm saying it was super hype. Like that was awesome watching it. They do the flight tracker to help you see what's going on. Like that's great. I think in my head I was like, the only thing missing is like the beauty of like if they were to film this and it was a disc flying. Obviously,
Yeah, I get.
I'm trying to hybrid the two. I think there's an awesome thing to be had there. Imagine if you took the Masters film crew, and you filmed disc golf, like actually had that crew do it. It would be insane.
It's one of those things where it's all personal preference too. Like Matt, disc golf is your most involved sport, right? Like that's what you do the most. You talk about disc golf, you play disc golf, your whole family is involved in disc golf. And so we see that beauty. Like I love playing darts. It's so fun watching professional darts players hit a 180 or hit a big checkout, Shanghai or 121 or whatever. Like that to me, that's beautiful to watch. It's like watching a bowler. Who is it, Pete May or Pete Ruby or something like that? Whoever does the "Who do you think you are? I am" when he hits the big strike to win a tournament. You know, watching a bowler bowl a 300 or bowl just a strike in general. It's such a beautiful craft, you know, skill that they're doing with their craft. So I think to me, it just all comes down to the impressiveness of knowing how hard that shot is. Like you put any casual disc golfer in the world and say, "Hey, do what Rory just did on this hole in golf with a golf club." Like 99.9999999% of the time, it's never going to happen. You do have those people like the Drew Gibsons, the Brody Smiths, you know, players like that who they could potentially do it, but also in that moment of the Masters, it was insane.
Yeah,
it was such a very clutch. This is what we talk about all the time. It was such a clutch shot.
Yes, incredible.
And then he ended up missing the eagle, which was kind of a bummer, but he did get the drop in birdie pretty much. But yeah, it's just the impressiveness of it. Every single time Rory or Justin Rose or someone would hit a huge shot, you know, it would our whole group chats blow up. And that's why you kind of have to put your phone down for a second because you might get they might be like 5 seconds ahead, right? In case something lagged a little bit. But like I said, just watching the Masters in general. I love watching golf tournaments, but the Masters is that, especially when Tiger won it in 2019 and now Rory winning it in 2025. And it's just such a cool moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know we've got a guest coming in a bit, but it seems to me like there's so much debate. So I'm not moving off of the Masters, but kind of. Just we love to compare golf and disc golf. Is that like where do you sit on that? Like, are you
one more time?
Well, comparing golf versus disc golf in general, what I mean is people are always like, we should be more like golf.
I think
right?
structure-wise,
or we should not be like golf.
So I think some of the elements of structure, the way it operates in the sense of maybe tour, maybe ranking styles, all that, maybe some of that. I'm down to saying, you know, golf's learned a lot there and there's stuff to be taken away. I think in some of the culture of it, I'm just going to be honest, like the caddy jumpsuit thing. Now that's like a Masters thing. That's cool. That's fine. That's their story. I'm not downplaying it, but I'm saying like
they did that at Eagles Crossing.
Yeah, exactly. So like I'm bringing up kind of like some of the culture stuff. Like if you want to dress up looking all golf and you're playing disc golf, to me it's kind of this weird blend where I go, I don't know if we should be like taking it all. Like I don't know like I know we call it a tee box and, you know, like hitting your putt and we take terminology. That is what it is now. But I don't know some of the cultural stuff that comes with it. Trying to aim for like country clubs or like, you know what I mean? Some of that cultural stuff. I don't know if that's the right word. I'm not down for that as much. I think we're our own thing, but I think some of the structure and elements like that. But yeah, what do you think, Nick? Did you see the white jumpsuits at Eagles Crossing?
Yeah. Yeah.
How'd that strike you?
I mean,
in the red jackets?
I love it. Like I love the jacket aspect. I think getting a jacket, I mean, the first time I ever heard about the jacket stuff was Happy Gilmore, right? You know, he gets the gold jacket and, you know, they kind of make funny jabs, gold jacket, green jacket. Yeah. And so seeing that, I think my one thing with it is obviously the Eagles Crossings Masters Invitational is brand new to this year. So, you know, Anthony Barella being the first one to win it and Owens Coggins being the first ones to win it. Kind of Anthony getting his red jacket. It's funny to me to see other people like Luke Humphreys, Paul Oman, and Jeremy Colling wear their jackets when they haven't won it. I don't know, and I could just be being facetious right now, but I love the aspect of it. I don't care for the color red as much as I do. Like I actually think green is sick. I would have loved to see like a blue jacket, but it's because blue is my favorite color, so that's just my own personal opinion. But I love the jacket aspect of things. In the Masters tournament,
So
if Eagles Crossing kind of keeps emulating and kind of resembling the Masters tournament, I think there's so many awesome qualities to take away from it. I love the fact that there's the champions dinner. The previous year champion gets to kind of make the dinner for the next year. There's so many cool things that can go with it. So I'm all for it. Eagles Crossing doing what they're doing and the aspect of the Masters. I think it's absolutely incredible. I'm a huge fan for it. I'm all about it. I was actually watching the post round coverage today before getting some housework stuff done. And I'm actually super stoked. This will be my first time ever really watching the course 1 through 18. So I'm super stoked this evening to kind of finish watching it. Because we've heard nothing but good things about that place. Like I've heard ups and downs about it, don't get me wrong. But for the most part, especially after this weekend, pros talking about how amazingly manicured it is and all the different features, amenities that go into that property. And, they have a lot of money. And what they're doing with that money is pretty insane.
yeah,
From what I've seen.
I think we're probably moving on. I kind of have mixed reactions. Like I am totally fine with them pursuing like some prestige, but I'm a little bit like it's going to be really hard. Like how are you ever going to copy what the Masters is doing? Like how is that ever going to happen? Like so at some point
maybe it
I'm
doesn't
like,
maybe it doesn't for another 100 years, but you gotta start somewhere.
oh,
I mean, what's it, 89 years of the Masters, so that my
But did
number
the
was obviously
Masters copy a
20
Masters?
years, 30 years. Just
no, I don't think so. I just like I guess my point is it's going to be really really tough, and so like I'm totally fine with them pursuing
Excellence.
like the principle behind it, right? In other words, you could be like, we want to be the masters of disc golf, like that. I would be fine with say that phrase,
Yeah.
right? But then but you got to make some things your own. And by the way, we weren't there, and so maybe they're doing just that, right? So I'm critiquing it from literally 1,000 miles away. It just felt like I don't know. It felt I couldn't actually tell a little bit if it's almost like acknowledging a little bit of humor in it, or is it literally like, no, we are prestigious. And
we'll pick this back up.
What do you
right
think, Paul
after
Krans?
this Paul
I just
Krans
brought
interview.
Paul in mid-conversation because I wanted to get his opinion.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Paul? Good. I don't think people
doing
heard
great.
you on that. I just unmuted you now.
Oh.
All
Do
good.
it
So the Masters Invitational, you weren't there. You were at a wedding and Team Challenge Finals.
Yep.
Did you get marketed with that event? Like, did people say like, hey, you should come play, or did you just hear about it third hand kind of thing?
I don't think I got an invite. Or,
Yeah, it's an invitational only,
Yes.
which is interesting. 32
Yeah.
players. I don't know how they picked, but
Yeah, I would assume they just chose like top of the list and world rankings and stuff, and I might have been just a bit too far out of that at the time. But I think it's a cool idea. Maybe we shouldn't copy it as much as what it looked like they did, but I do agree with Nick. There should be a tournament. I think personally USDGC should be this tournament, not a made-up one. I think USDGC should have their.
I've said that in the past.
Yeah.
Paul, we're
I
on the
know.
same
I
page.
don't know. I don't know why they don't. I don't know why they don't.
They
Well,
give
They
out
have
a
the
ring.
building.
They give out a ring, which is pretty awesome. Don't
Yep.
get me wrong. The ring is very, 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 very cool. But man, throw on a jacket.
They
Especially
do.
oh,
You
dude.
shouldn't have to wait a
Oh.
year to get the ring though.
Well, that's
They do.
yeah. They could.
That's
probably
hard.
Do it.
Yeah.
do you
They'd
remember
have to
the
have some on hand.
Yeah.
remember the Pro Tour
Yeah.
jacket?
Yes.
Anyone?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The
Yeah.
white.
Paul Krans, have you seen
John
the original
Tompkins.
Pro
John
Tour
Tompkins
jacket?
used to caddy for Paul in that Pro Tour jacket.
I don't-
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it.
I think the first
the-
year it was like
the
a
first year of the
shiny,
Disco
like
Pro Tour, yeah.
silver, like
Yeah.
puffy jacket. It's
Yep.
kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So we brought you on not to talk about Eagles Crossing and that event, which by the way, I started watching it. It is an epic course. All reviews of people. Have you ever been out there, Paul?
No, I haven't.
All
It
the
looks
reviews.
exhausting.
Yeah, it looks exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the reviews that you hear are interesting, and maybe I'm reading into it too much. First of all, I wish them all the success. I think they have to have the money to pull it off because it's out of the way. To Paul's point, it looks exhausting. It's cost a bit, but they're going for something special here. But a lot of the reviews come out, and you never hear anybody say it's my favorite course in the world. What you do hear, and maybe correct me, you guys see something different. What you do hear is a player say, "This is the most epic disc golf property in the world. This is the most incredible property with disc golf on it," along those lines. So it's not people saying it's my favorite, but I think the venue stands out far and beyond anything else. That's the report we get. It's amazing. So we have to believe it. But we brought you on here. You didn't get invited to that event. You got invited on our show because, frankly, right now, as it stands, Paul, according to our pop, drop, lock game and your stats, you are currently, after 4 events, the pop leader of the year. After 4 events, you are placing 32 places better on average.
Wow.
Per event.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is incredible. What are you doing different this year?
I'm not playing Mondays. That's new. I am practicing less and focusing more on eating and working out. So I'm just like focusing my life towards other areas of life than just being out on the course and practicing and grinding away. Because I do think one of the things that's helping me perform during the weekend is being more well rested instead of, going out in the morning practicing and then, having a lunch and then going back out and playing again. Like doing that 3 days in a row to then leading up to a 4-day event or 3-day event. It's like you're exhausting yourself before you even get there.
So my question to you is, was this off season like contemplation? Like, what did I do last year that didn't work well? Or did you recognize it last year where you're like, dude, I'm just always, exhausted, or I'm doing too much? Or like, when did you recognize this and think maybe I should do a shift? Or third option, did this happen by accident? You're like, dude, it helps when I don't play and all these things. So like, what do you think?
Well, I kind of realized it last year, especially when I injured my elbow. That injury probably came from just overplaying and overthrowing. So then once that happened, I kind of took a step back from playing, and then I had my best performance at GMC to end the year. I think it was my best performance. And that week was kind of more of a relaxing week, it felt like. And then during the off season, I took a lot of time off of playing, and every time I went to go play, like for Team Challenge, I always felt better. So I guess it's not like I, over the off season, said, "Oh, I'm not going to play Mondays." Not playing Mondays happened just when I got on the road. And I don't know. I'm trying to stick to it. There's no reason to play Monday, really, especially after playing a 4-day event. It's just a good rest day, and then you don't feel as rushed to travel to the next location. But yeah, I don't know. It kind of just, the Monday thing happened when I was on the road, but everything else before that, practicing less, playing less, was like, end of last season into the off season.
So I want to ask, again, I think I heard an interview when I wasn't on the show. I was probably traveling. You're traveling now. You're getting ready to drive to Kansas City, I guess, from Nashville.
Yep.
Is this where you think you are supposed to be, like as in averaging or your performances? Obviously you're shooting for the stars. I get that. But like right now, are you thinking this? Or I think I heard you when I talked, maybe it was privately or personally or wherever, you mentioned that, hey, I don't even feel like I was playing that good. There's room to grow here. So like, where do you think you might end up landing? Do you think you'll be the best in the world one day?
I don't know. I don't really have expectations to be the best. I understand that's a mindset that people probably should have, is like strive to be the best in the world. But I kind of am just taking it slow. I've realized that my journey is going to be a longer one. Like if it takes me 5 years, like to get to where I really want to be, then so be it. I kind of made that connection with the physical aspect of it. Like personally, like I'm trying to gain weight, and I've come to realize I'm not someone that can stuff food down all day. So over time, I'll gain weight. So I'm not like rushing things. And when it comes to disc golf, I feel like I'm on the right track of where I should be. We did have a personal conversation about it where I feel like I'm not playing amazing disc golf. It's more of just like, I call it the mediocrity of disc golf. Like that's kind of what I feel like I'm playing. And it's a good sign. I always look at it as a great sign that I'm shooting 1030 and not playing the best I can. Because last year I would shoot a 1030 rated round and it felt like I had to work my butt off for it. And the difference now is like I play a 1030 rated round like I was not even really trying, I guess. Like I was trying, but it was kind of just like a smooth flowing round. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really happy with where I'm sitting at with how I've been playing. And I feel like once I start connecting the first round of the events, like my first rounds in my 2 best finishes have been like 40th place, putting me in 40th place. And then I climb up the leaderboard the next few rounds. So if I can just get my first round to click, then I think I'll be where I'm actually supposed to be.
Well, it's impressive, man. As I said, you are on our list of, I guess you would call it most improved, but we call it pop player. You're just really, really showing off there in our list. And fun fact, in the alphabetical order, you're right next to Paul Macbeth. So that's not bad company. Which, by the way,
Right.
he is in the conversation for pop player of the year. But if you keep this up, there's no chance for him because let's just put it out there. He was averaging 25th last year. And he is currently averaging 6th. So he's doing way better too, but he has less room to go. So as you get closer to the top, you have less room. But so yeah, you're doing great. There's a few others. Justin Rozak, I pointed out, Micah Groth, but they only have an event or 2. You have 4. So we're not counting them yet. They're going to have to play a few more for us to see how their results show up. But anybody here have a question for Paul? I know is Harry Chase there with you?
Yeah, he is. One more question. What was I averaging last year for placement?
54 is what we have for the season, over the whole course of the season, when you put everything together.
Okay.
I think so. One of the things, and actually Paul and I talked about this a little bit at the wedding on Friday, but playing great so far this year, popping off. You're talking about kind of sluggish and slow first rounds. 1, what do you think the reason for that is? And then 2, what are you doing to kind of work on those things?
I think, I don't know. I feel like it's because I don't really have things to correct on. And that's what I've been doing is I play these 1030 rated rounds to start the day, or to start the tournament. Like say 1020, say I shoot a 1020 rated round. I have countless shots to correct on and countless shots to know that I can execute again, because it's not like I'm throwing any crazy par saves or crazy tee shots that get me into birdie position. So if I slightly mess something up, I know that I can make the correction the next day, and it makes it a lot easier to play that hole. Now, I mean, there are some times like the first round of Music City Open, hole 6, I birdied. I've never birdied that hole in my life until the tournament. So to play that hole and then also shoot a 1025 rated first round, it's like, oh, I'm not going to correct on it, but I know that I can execute it again. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the whole like thought of correction is helping me play the second and third rounds a lot better.
That makes sense.
Cool. I think it's going to be fun to watch, and we don't want to bore people with keep bringing you on, but if you keep showing off, we're going to keep bringing you on. I think it's a storyline to be watched for sure. Speaking of storylines, there's a rookie year player, I think, with you. Harry, is he there?
Yes.
What's up?
He is here.
Harry Chase.
What's up, guys?
Long time no see, dude. You came up and the snow came, and you guys were on tour coming back to 5 inches of snow. You're now in Nashville if people want to hunt you down, and you're heading out to Kansas City. You just had your best finish. If I'm looking correctly here, is it 37, 34? What was it here? It was. What'd you want me to
I
look
I
it
don't
up?
know, but you're in the
You
you're
finished
in the
37th.
ballpark.
37.
Somewhere in the back end of the 30s.
37.
37th at MCO.
You slowly are progressing in the direction that I had predicted going into this year. But this is your rookie year on tour. We were talking to you in the chat, and I think when we were interviewing Simon, because he called into the show live, and I think you were even in the chat, you heard my take. I said it just seems like he's not comfortable because I know the player you are. Like that's what's standing out to you. I'm like, I know the player he is, and I don't think he gets nervous. Like, well, maybe you do. Tell us. Are you nervous? Are you uncomfortable? Like, what's going on?
Honestly, I haven't been that nervous, and I think it might be a bad thing.
Oh, maybe that's the problem.
I don't know. Like, I think I had a similar thing happen to me last year where, I don't know, I kind of felt like I was playing on autopilot, where just, I show up to the tournament, try to play the best I can. And, I don't know, like I've kind of removed myself from the emotional equation, so to speak, at times. And it can be helpful to, play solid, but I know when I'm playing my best, I'm really involved mentally and emotionally, and it can have good or bad consequences. But being nervous is a good thing sometimes. I'm not, especially when it's a disc golf pro tour. I mean, even if it's just round one or round two, like I haven't gotten to the spots of final day lead card at a big tournament yet, so I haven't really unlocked those type of nerves. But when it's kind of round one of the tournament, teeing off, you always get a little bit of nerves, no matter what tournament it is. And then after that, it's kind of been non-existent. Maybe I just haven't been in the mix enough to kind of feel those. But I think being nervous is a good thing. It helps you kind of stay in your routine and execute what you want to do. I mean, I feel like anytime I play with a camera, I'm going to play better, just because, I'm not going to do the stupid thing or blow up in front of everybody, or it kind of, it's like playing in front of your parents. You don't want to let them down.
And so what you're describing, and I have the pleasure of playing with you on our team and getting to see that firsthand multiple times, and locally in other tournaments. You won my you almost won my backyard tournament. You were in that mix with Gannon and Cole. Like you do not come off. Yeah, you're not a nerve. Like, people will be very surprised. What you're saying, I just want to reemphasize. Like, if you put a camera, you get him out there. Like, yeah, you're going to have those nerves, but you're going to play better. You are an excellent player. You don't crumble. I see you rise. I'm going to see you throw in 100-foot putts, like a couple of them around. Like, it's going to happen. You're that player. So I know something here. It's interesting to hear you kind of break it out a little bit. You're like, well, maybe I'm not nervous. So how do we get you those nerves? We got to send a camera crew down there, like live stream you a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just more about me and my own mental standpoint on the event and stuff like that. Getting in the mix is definitely something that will ignite that for me. As much as I want to go and play my best, and it's not like I'm not trying or not putting my full effort, but it's just it's a different level when you're in the late 30s versus in the teens. There's a lot more to play for. There's a lot more on the line, and like any player will tell you, I think it's really hard to give 110% of what you got when you're just kind of around par and not really scoring. So,
well, Harry, we're talking about, like, come on, can you do better? Can you do better? It feels a little downer. I will say 37. If you were to say, like, Harry Chase goes on tour and he starts out in his first 4 events, he has a top 40. I'll put it that way. I'd say that's pretty dang good as far as like tour players go nowadays, for a rookie player to go out and do that. So there's like no shade there at all. That is impressive. 37. I know you want more. And let me put it that way. We asked Paul, like, are you going to be the best player in the world one day? And he kind of was like smiled. I know he's there listening now. And he's like, like what's your mindset, Harry? You're just testing the waters out, or do you have aspirations for that?
No, I have aspirations. I just want to be satisfied with my body of work. Whatever other people want to decide of where I stand, top 5, top 10, best in the world. I'll let them decide that. But pretty much, I just want to be proud of my performances. Get as many titles as I can. A long way to go to get there, but committed to it each and every day.
Dude, your vlogs now, you came out of nowhere with those, I feel like. Did you have any experience doing videos before you started these vlogs?
Barely. So basically, no. But man, it's tough. It is actually really tough. And it gets easier every time. The elements have honestly been the hardest part. Like, we've had series planned at every stop. I have 2 personally, and then just other videos on the side, but the weather just canceled all of that. And then also, with the wind we've had, it's hard to kind of create and promote good content. So hoping for some more favorable conditions and to keep them coming. But yeah, it's been a while since my last video, honestly. And editing them myself on my really old computer that takes forever to export, it can be frustrating, but there's a lot of time to use out here, so it's a good way to use it and just get better at the whole video thing. I told a lot of younger guys, like, you just got to start doing it. You just got to start. I bought my own mics. I bought a nice tripod and just, have just incorporated it into the routine whenever I have the chance to, play another course or get an extra practice round in to film it and just provide the most entertaining stuff I can. And a lot of people this year have been doing the same, so it's really hard to stand out, but trying to find creative ways to make it happen.
So I know you say it's been a while, but when I go look at your videos, it says 11 days. So that might feel like forever in tour time. I don't know, but that's like you're doing it. And then 2 weeks before that, or 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So like you've been on a pretty steady pace, and coming from 0 to this, and you just sharing what you did. I think you killing it as far as a new player in the YouTube scene. I like watching it because I know you, like, for sure. But then your content quality is, I'm gonna say, this might be mean to Simon, it was as good as Simon's back in the day when he was doing it and people loved his stuff. Like, he's, he has someone producing for him now and doing all, like, that's, he's taking it to that next level. But like, people should go check it out. You provide great disc golf content, and I want you to get some people that don't know about it over there viewing. It's literally the YouTube channel Harry Chase, right? That's it.
That's right. Chase like Ace, CHACE.
Ooh,
go find
Chase
it.
like
go
Ace.
Enjoy it.
That's nice. All right. Nick, Josh, anything for Harry? No?
No, great to see you. Good luck.
Well, I
out there.
think, yeah, I mean, I can kind of just bounce a little disc golf question out there. Is like Paul was saying that he doesn't practice on Mondays. Do you have any little things that you've been doing this year to try to, stay a little extra healthy, or are you kind of nonstop playing every single day if you have the chance to?
No, like Paul, I've been taking most Mondays off, playing a pitch and putt and throwing putters at most. But yeah, I mean, with travel, it's very easy to take a Monday off depending on the tour stop and where you're going in between. But no, mostly just been playing a practice round each day leading up to the event. I can't really say I've been on the road long enough to find something that's like consistent that I'm swearing by. Not that I need that either, but no, just trying to just take it one event at a time. It's tough too, like playing courses for the first time. And I've played practice rounds with a lot of helpful people that have showed me the ropes on some of the courses and, the tour shots and how to play safe while being aggressive. And it's truly a different sport out here. So just learning that. And yeah.
On kind of a scale 1 to 10, it's your first year out there, 10 being the best. How are you enjoying the tour life?
I would say an 8.
Okay.
If I was playing better, it'd be a 9.
Yeah.
And then that 1 point knocked off is just, travel life can be tough. There's a million perks to it, and it's been amazing. But, there's still hoops to jump through in every way, trouble that arises, and bills to pay. So,
how long's the drive? How long's the drive tonight?
8 hours.
Yeah, we got like 8 hours.
All right.
I don't know if we'll make it the whole way. We'll see.
Is it only 8 hours to Kansas City from Nashville? That doesn't seem right, is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. I got to do the basket testing tomorrow, so we got to get there.
Oh, there you go. Kansas City is one of the events that the pros get to do basket testings for the people who don't know.
I don't know if it's been announced what baskets are going to be there, but did Steve Dodd show you what basket he has there?
Is it the one that was at MVP?
Is it the bird cage?
I don't know if I'm supposed to announce it, but he showed me a video of the basket that will be there, and he said it's new and improved. So I'll just leave it at that. You'll have to see for yourself. But there's going to be a whole bunch of baskets there.
If it's the one at MVP, I'm voting no.
Well, it's new and improved. It's new and improved. So you'll have to check out the new and improved.
We'll see.
We'll see. You'll leave it at that. Get a video of you putting on it and send it in. Actually, I don't know if you're allowed to have media there. I don't know. That's something that wasn't allowed last year.
Are we even allowed to talk about it?
I don't know. I'll reach out and ask. I'll ask if we have any results, but it's just feedback. It's like a feedback period. There's no decision being made per se. They're just looking for feedback.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
All right. Well, you guys have a long, significant drive. Kansas City wide open. Have either of you played Bad Rock Creek before?
I have. It is one of my favorite courses, and I'm so excited for the tour to play it because it's just all around amazing.
Hole
that's
one.
Great for people playing pop, drop, and lock.
Yeah, hole one. Do you throw? And you probably do. You clear the water. You go to park the basket, right? I mean, or do you? What do you do?
No, I'm gonna lay up.
Okay.
No reason for me to go for it unless they made it a par 3, but I doubt that.
I don't know.
No,
I'm laughing.
Hole one's a par 4.
Okay, I haven't looked into the hole changes or if there are any compared to when I played it. But when I played it, the final round, I was 6 under through 6, which is an 1100 rated start. If you see anyone go 6 through 6, they deserve money. So,
did you get
we'll
money?
them.
You deserved it.
I deserved it, but I didn't get it.
Yeah.
If you go 6 for 6, I'll Venmo you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll give you $10. I'll give you $1 per hole, I guess.
But
Perfect.
to that point, hole one is 575 feet. So are we saying to go for that, you're shooting 550 feet? Right?
Yeah, no, the basket is right on the water's edge, so it takes over 550 to get a birdie look or an eagle look.
So it's going to be impressive if anybody does that.
If anyone does it.
It's not like
there's OB, it's all water and then it's all OB. So
I was gonna say it's not like Waco 18, but in concept, you're trying to clear water to get to a basket that's on the other side, just to put it in perspective.
Yeah.
Paul, not that you care, but I've played that course a few times. Not the MPO tour layout, but the venue itself is not. It's pretty good for its location. It's like a public area, but yeah, it's really nice. So people are gonna enjoy seeing that on camera, and maybe.
Yeah,
Harry, this is where you'll get your live coverage this week, and that's where we'll see you shine, maybe.
The course kind of benefits a New England player if you have more shots than just wooded. So, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of shot shapes out there.
Very cool.
All right, guys, we'll let you hit the road. Safe travels. We'll be watching you, of course, and we'll hit you up again when you either have something to share or we find something interesting to share. Either way.
Perfect. Thanks for having us on.
All right. Safe travels, guys.
Thank you all.
Peace.
Thank you, crew.
See ya.
Peace.
They just got off a flight, too. They got off a flight, got to their vehicle. Now they got an 8-hour drive. So it's a long day. Very long day.
Yeah, thanks to them. It's great. I mean, it's, the three of us have been in the disc golf world for quite a while, right? Decade, maybe approaching 2 decades. It depends. But and then you see the next, I don't know if it's truly the next generation, but it's there's these young, literally they're young golfers, young to the scene. Matt mentioned rookie. I think this is Paul's real second year.
Sophomore year.
And sometimes it's hard for me to put that all in perspective because we also have those who've been here forever, right? The Paul Macbeth and
Greg
Ricky
Barsby.
and all those names. So it's just and that's the way the sport should be as it matures. You're going to have that. So it's not weird or unusual, but it's maybe still weird for me to be like, wow, like either one of them could be the next big player. Like Gannon Burr is kind of bridging the gap now. The question will be longevity. We've all said before, we think like Gannon seems to have it, like he'll be there for a decade or two, right? Like it seems that way, but you don't know. But then you have these next generation just several years behind him. Not that much, actually, not that far in age. Gannon's still so young. But yeah, it's just interesting. And seeing them, I always am intrigued not only about how they're approaching the sport, but the whole grind, like just where our sport's at. Like we didn't talk to them much about how they're making it work, but they're not making a lot of money, not from actual touring, right? Different sponsorship can help cover certain things, but it's just like they're out there, and Harry's giving it an 8 out of 10, and I love it, right? Seeing they're working hard, learning to adapt, and they're seeing success. And to your point, Matt, even with Harry, it's not where he wants to be, but that for going out on the tour for the beginning, that is nowhere near failure. You'd have to be like down and out and quitting, right? And he's nowhere near that. He's succeeding and cashing.
53 average, again, just to put this in perspective, 53 average. And if I look, I could do a little query here. There are, we'll just say more than half of the people are worse than that. So, I mean, how do you go wrong saying, hey, my first season out, I'm playing better than half the people on average? So that's pretty good.
Yep, you got a lot to figure out. I mean, that's Paul in his second year. I'm right with that, right? I think he played a few events before, but last year
he played
was
last year full
tour.
tour. Yeah.
Yep. But I mean, so you start figuring out stuff. Like that's part of like life. And so Paul's figuring out things and we're seeing his performance bump. And so that's going to be true for lots of players as they continue to evolve. And you can tell his mindset's the long game. Of course, he would love to like fix everything immediately, but he's not chasing that. He's adapting, right, as he's going. And as a result, kind of continuing to fine tune and seeing results. So yeah, congrats to them. That's awesome.
I don't want to hijack the next point, but here we go.
No,
what do you think about Ricky Wysocki this year? Just what's your take on his performances at 4 events?
I mean, he's definitely like he's obviously still one of the best, but he is like I was just looking, definitely underperforming. And then I wonder how much it is about the late season sponsor change.
I don't think it really has anything to do with the late season sponsor change. And one of the reasons I say that, like, kicked ass out in Vista when he played the Shelley Sharp or Memorial. I forget which one it actually was.
That's beginner's luck, though.
Okay, we'll call that beginner's luck for being a long-time beginner. But then, 4th place at Supreme Flight Open, and then has since then not been overperforming, underperforming, we could say, just because we know who Ricky is. But yeah, I mean,
hey, we don't have the emergency bells going, Nick. I'm just saying, when you see a 38th and a 24th, that was like all last year, not Ricky at all. So it's just kind of like different. That's all I'm trying to point out.
Well, yeah, and literally I went to the Pro Tour standings earlier today, and this is just an anecdotal thing. I'm not even talking about where he sits, but I was like, oh, wait. And then I had to scroll to see it.
Yeah.
And that's not normal for Ricky.
Right.
But he's still 12th, to Matt's point. Like there's no alarm. And, a lot of these events are even going to drop because he's going to play most events. So he's going to drop a few of these, like, laggard events, and like he may be just fine. Like, but
in contrast,
you would have thought after last year, you would have thought he would have been in like 3rd place.
You can say, like, we're talking about the sponsor change, right? Like, they haven't had incredible weather on tour so far. Like, Music City Open was very, very windy, very, very muddy. He could still be learning those discs in the wind and hasn't really had the opportunity. So in that, to Josh's point, I'll agree with that. Learning, what am I throwing? Am I throwing forces or nukes in the headwind? Which one's more comfortable? Which one am I getting distance out of still? Yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, I mean, like you said, no emergency bells are going off yet. No fire alarms being pulled of, holy cow, was this a good deal for Discraft, right? But
no, he's fine. Yeah, Ricky will most likely be fine. But
in contrast, a little bit, Paul Macbeth, kind of almost identical opposite swing here from last year to this year. So like Ricky was like, let's say averaging 4th. Now he's dropped down according to averages about to 18th with 2 kind of off events. And Paul, on the other hand, has went from like an average of 25 last year up to 6. They kind of did this swap. So I would say you don't want to overreact either with Paul here, but this is maybe I am a little bit. Impressive might be the wrong word, but impressed at the correction from last year. If there was a correction to be made, Paul's doing it. It's like, okay, last year was an off year. We want to see a Paul Macbeth win, though.
Yes.
But there's...
And we will see a Paul Macbeth win this year.
Incredible performances where you're like, man, this is... you. If you're a Macbeth fan, you're happy to see him there, but you're almost scared to say, like, yes, he's back. Because you're like, I just want to enjoy it while it's here. But so you want to keep enjoying it. There was another year, Simon Lizotte. This is just after 4 events. So again, this is not emergency bells one way or overreacting with, they're going to be the best player in the world. Simon starts out with a 6th place, a 2nd place, and you're thinking, this guy, right? He's just going to keep performing really high. Then he has a 55th and then a 28th. So he's kind of did a little Ricky Wysocki just because we had that conversation. I'm using it. 2 off events. We're only 4 events in. You can't really read anything into this. But that's how he started out. I'm sure it's not how he wanted to. But he's going to be fine, right? He's going to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's more consistent with what I feel like. Those last 2 events are significantly underperforming. In fact, I picked him to win one of those events, right? So clearly at the same time, Simon's always interesting where his ceiling is as high as anyone's, right? Because he can go out and win every event. And then I don't have the stats in front of me, but if you go and look, every year he has a handful, not 1 or 2, a handful of events where I think if you talk to him and listen to his interviews, he's always just like, it just wasn't happening that weekend. He's used the word luck. I don't think it's always luck, right? But it's like, sometimes you just get the kicks and sometimes you don't. Yeah. And that's very much how he is as a player. So his skill is so refined, but then it's sometimes it isn't and sometimes it is for him. And so so that's why I'd be like, of course it's fine, because that's literally in character. Yeah. Right? 6'2", 55, 28, and then he could do 4-3, get a win, and then a 47th finish. And I'd be like, well, that's Simon. Just my take.
Then you have Kyle Klein, who we don't really need to react to right now. He's kind of performing honestly how he kind of always does. I think he'll probably end the season very similar, right around that, 10th place. He's a top 10, give or take, a little bit. I wanted to jump a little bit to, we've talked about him enough, but Ezra Robinson really showing off this year.
Impressed.
Yeah. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I'm very, very impressed. I mean, popping out first event of the year, getting a win. Constantly we're talking about him on the podcast, so he's obviously doing something right. Playing great with the new sponsor change. I think he's got excitement right now. He's got a lot of happy things to be going with. And so, yeah, it's been cool to see. He's a really likable dude. He's an awesome dude. Meeting him in person, kind of hanging out with him, he's very, very fun. So to see kind of the success hit early on with a big sponsorship change is really cool. I think for a lot of these players, going from, let's say, one company to another, you kind of feel like, let's say, hey, Discraft really does believe in my skills, really does believe in my talents. And so they put the money where the mouth is, right? And to see the early season success out of Ezra is awesome. And same thing, still with Anthony Barella and Paul and Adam Hammis. Discraft is having a really good time. I know Mike and Bob are very, very happy with how things are going so far. So I think for players on the elite team, it's been awesome.
So interestingly enough, right, he comes out with a win, and then he has a few other, performances, top 20. He's a little bit around as far as performances up and down a little bit, but he's performing better than he ever has. You have Adam Hammis, who is just having a solid, even better performance with a win, and his performances, nothing outside of top 10. That's impressive. And then, obviously in the same conversation, AB, Calvin Heimberg. I think if we were to put all those names that I just brought up over the last 5 minutes, those have to be all your top 10. They are the players this year.
Yeah. Did you mention Niklas?
Probably not. I'm just scrolling through a list.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying, because he's the one, again, not surprised at his skill. So I guess I'm trying to think of a better word, because I'm not surprised. However, to rattle off 2 wins
back to back
after back to back, And he finished Supreme Flight in 45th. Right, and he's talked about that a little bit. So like that's no alarm from that. It's just that's just how it started. But then since then, right, like that's pretty incredible. And sometimes these players pick up a little bit ahead of steam or some confidence, and he just seems like he's got it on lock. So I wouldn't have picked him to do that.
The last two events should have brought it up in conversation. It's just when you look at his combined season so far, it's been unassuming for the first two, but then he does this. So here's a fun question that came up. And I brought it up. I was sitting next to Steve Dodge at Ben's wedding. And then Evan came over after and I asked Evan, and he's like, sounds like you guys have done a lot of legwork on that. Evan, I still haven't figured it out, and I'm going to play a little game here with the guys, see if we can figure it out live on air.
Boy. I don't know what it is.
How many players, how big is this club, Nick, of players who have gone back to back during the tour? Like easy, right? Paul Macbeth's done it, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know the events, but they had
we're talking Pro Tour.
Yeah,
like since
elite, or elite. Yeah, so like if you won Worlds in the
Pro
next
Tour
one, I'd
NT
count that too.
Worlds.
Yes,
But like,
yes,
okay,
yes.
so obviously Paul's done it. I'm not looking it up now, so someone correct me if I'm wrong. Ricky's done it, I'm going to say. Well, obviously
Simon.
Nicholas has done it now.
Nicholas.
Has Gannon done it?
Who?
I would
Gannon
assume
Burr?
Gannon.
Yeah, Gannon, so that's 4.
You got Simon.
Simon's done it. When did he do that? Like Music City and something else?
I'm pretty sure he won OTB and then Portland. I want to say.
So this is where I started
could
to
be
struggle.
wrong. Yeah, but I think that sounds right.
And I'm not quite sure in the moment how to figure it out.
I guess just looking at Simon's PDGA page.
Yeah, but you got to kind of like.
You'd have to go
scroll
player by
Oh.
player. So yeah, we could look it up player by player. But the club is really small, I guess is my point. Maybe we'd be surprised. But if you had to do over under, are you saying over under like 6?
I'm saying, well, I guess technically I would take the under on 6, like 6 and below.
So it's a small club.
Yeah.
Yes.
Simon did it in 22.
2, right? That his last year with Discmania.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
OTB Open and Portland Open.
OTB to Portland.
There's got to be 1 or 2 where we might be missing.
And you're talking Pro Tour era, right? Because you're not.
Yeah,
going back
we don't want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say
Pro
2016.
Tour and majors. So yeah, Pro Tours and majors.
That's what I'm talking.
2016.
Sorry to
on.
not give credit, legacy of the
Well, right,
other
because there's
players.
obviously the other names.
Yeah.
like
Ken
there's-
Climo, we could go on and
Right,
on.
who
This is
rattled
just
off,
specifically
like,
in this
so
club
many.
for this era, if we want to call it an era.
the Pro Tour
So,
specifically.
but I guess the reason I asked that question is because I feel like he just entered a very exclusive club. Like if you're like, I'm one of 5 people to do it, that's epic.
Yeah.
So he's in a conversation of his own right now for this season. Is he signed up for Kansas City?
I would assume so.
Let's see. Yes, he is. Maybe I should have picked him.
I mean, he'd be a good pick.
Who did I pick? We'll do that in a little bit.
I would say we're going to do that in a minute, right?
Well, we can do that if you want. We just jump in there right now.
Yeah, that's.
We're talking players, positions, and who's done what. Might as well jump in and talk about our picks. I know Ben got his in. So we'll pull them all up here. We'll start with Nick. Nick's picks coming up. What'd you do, Nick?
I am picking to pop Albert Tom. Dropping in the MPO division, Corey Ellis, and locking Calvin Heiberg. Now, I will say a lot of these are just based on what their ranking and average is right now. I don't really know the course too well, so I don't know exactly, who it suits, who I think is kind of more preferred on it. So just hoping that it hasn't worked out for me so far, but hoping that my luck changes a little bit this week. In the FPO division, popping Erica Stinchcomb, dropping Heidi Lane. Now, I'm kind of wary about this one, only in the sense she had the big knee injury, but then has already come back and started playing.
She's been playing, so I don't know what
Which
happened.
is like super surprising to me. So like at the same time, if she does drop, I still get 10 points, right?
If she actually DNFs, you will
If
get
she
10.
DNFs
So you
from
can
the
kind of
tournament. Yeah,
pick
exactly.
strategically if
No,
you
I
think
wasn't
she's going to drop
really
and she
banking
might
on that,
drop.
but yeah, exactly. But I'm thinking like, hey, knee problems, maybe he's not going to place as well. Anyways, and then locking Cap Merch, I think he's going to win this tournament this weekend. So
All right.
those are
That'd be a
mine.
big deal.
Yeah, well, So the course, Nick, I mentioned it to Paul, but I've been able to play it a few times because I have family that lives like relatively close to there.
Yeah.
And
I didn't play this with you last time, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think I have.
Oh, maybe you were sick with like that crazy flu disease.
Yeah.
I think it might have been that season.
All right.
Anyways, I've never played Jonesboro, so I have to go off of like just viewing Jonesboro, but having played Bad Rock. In my mind, I go, there's elements of it where I'd say similar elements, not the whole thing. Like you get some big rolling kind of grass hill stuff sometimes. But then you maybe have a little bit of, and I'm going to throw in this other course, you'll be kind of throwing a little bit, Idlewild. Like when you kind of get into the edges of the woods or in the woods, it has kind of an Idlewild feel. Not like the putting greens, you know, all that kind of stuff, but like just kind of the feel. So kind of hybrid mix those, and maybe that's what you'll see. I got a mosquito.
Well, I like
in
that.
here.
I mean, there's a handful of pros who have said they love it. So you just heard from Paul, but Eric Oakley just posted and said loving it. He's like, this is going to be awesome. So like there seems to be some really positive reactions. So can't wait to see it on camera.
Okay, so just to throw it out there, I don't think that really helps us with who to pick necessarily. I think you're just going to have to do what Nick did, just kind of base it off of season standings. But
Yeah.
here we go. This one actually was off of a little historical data, having just said that. GT Hancock played this event last year. I think he got second. Now, I know this was not a tour event. I know not all the touring players were there. But the fact that he averaged like 1,030 something across the event tells me he can play the course well. So, and right now he's averaging 80th. So if he could do this is a little bit of math. If he can perform at 1,030 rated golf, he should get me 20 or 30 points is my hope. Adam Hamilton dropped. This is sad because
Dang.
it's one of those things how this game plays.
I know.
But he's playing so
That's so
good
risky.
that it's like it is kind of a risky move for me, but it's not because he's seventh. If he somehow pops, good for him. Like keep on your season, right? But it's like one of these numbers games right now that I'm picking. I can't be too risky right now. I'm holding down third overall, guys. I don't know if you noticed that. I'm pretty happy. I can't be too risky, but I got to move and chunk away a little at a time. Gannon Bertolock, he's played this event. He broke the course. They changed the rules on holes because of him. He knows how to play this well. Even though they fixed it, he still knows how to play well. And then Pop, Lisa Fakis, she also plays well here. I think she got second place when she played here last year. I know again.
She won.
Won. So I know the caliber of players wasn't that high, but again, if you look at how someone plays it, they have a chance. Drop Madison Walker. This is a numbers game. She might. It's one of those things again. Who knows? And then Owen Scoggins to lock. I quickly scrolled through her social media to find what I wanted to find, and I did today. She said, "My arm is now better." That was
Nice.
maybe a week ago. So I was like, did she say anything? And she did say it, something in her own words, but her arm's better. It's all fixed or something. So
Good.
my hope is this is the one. I wouldn't be surprised if Holland wins it, but I'm going Owen. All right, let's see who Ben did. Josh, you read out Ben's.
Yeah, so he has big germ to Pop, and I don't have the number in front of me, but when I looked, I think he is like 84th, like average or
Yeah.
something. So, I mean, that is like, can you
84
imagine?
average.
Yeah, so like, I mean, there's a big upside. I guess we'll see. Adam Hammis to drop, so Matt, he's with you. Interesting. And Gannon to lock.
Oh,
So,
we have those two the same.
Yeah, so I don't know, it's interesting. To Pop, Hannah Stefanovic. I don't know much about her, so Ben's getting sneaky on his picks. Ella Hansen to drop. And let me tell you, if you go back in history, I've picked her to drop too many times. I've learned the hard way. She's been playing well, but that's a numbers game. And then Locke, Holland, Hanley, obviously solid chance to win.
Hold on a second. You know what he just did? He picked a player that is not in our tour list.
Like who?
Hannah
is that
Stefanovic.
Oh, well.
So we can't pick her because we don't have currently for this, at least for this week, we only had players who were actually granted tour cards, I thought.
Well,
We're gonna have to look into that.
but she's in the list, in the drop down list.
Oh, she is in our list.
Yeah. So I don't know. You can double check it if we need to move it. But I see her in the list as averaging 45th, which is why.
Well,
it's
hold on
Pop.
then. Maybe if you look in our pop list, if you look in the pop list, she's not there, right?
I'm looking right now at it, and I see
In
Hannah
the pop
Stefanovic.
list.
Yes,
Well, she's not
FPO
showing up
pop.
in my pop list.
FPO pop.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'll double check why this is happening, but it's not there. You're in the 43rd Kansas City wide open. We're gonna figure this troubleshoot it right now.
Yeah, Grip
We don't
EQ
have to.
43rd KC wide open presented by Under Par. FPO pop.
Where does she fall in the list? After who?
Hannah Wynn and before Heidi Lane.
Yeah, not in my list. That's super weird. So you have
Average
it.
45.
I'm glad it's there because Ben can pick her. All right, cool. Ella
There you
Hansen,
go.
Holland Hanley. See, I told you
Yep.
Holland Hanley might take it down. All right, Josh, you're up.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good pick. All right, so yeah, bring my names up. So Pop, Jake Mon. I don't know, just think, I mean, again, he played there last year, comfortable. Ezra Ederhold the drop, not really on any hunch, just, I don't know, got to pick somebody. And then I'm going lock. This is Paul's event. He keeps like dabbling. I just need to get consistency for all the rounds. And Matt, same, Pop, Lisa Fakis, drop. Nick, I'm with you. Heidi. And Matt, I'm with you on lock. So we've got all these overlaps. It's interesting.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes I'm not surprised we have overlaps, but then every once in a while it blows me away how much we can do that. But I guess
We're dialing in the game.
but we follow disc golf and we know what's happening, so it's not like totally far-fetched. But yeah, we definitely have a good mixture of names this week. So everybody else get out there, play along. Remember, because there's an event and a season leaderboard, you can actually see how you're competing against us. But you can also play against your friends by just tagging them as your favorite right in the app. And when you do that, it'll just bring your favorite friends to the top of the list and see how you perform. It's that simple. It's free. You log in once, you're good to go.
I love the star feature. It's made my life better.
Yeah.
Like I can just
yeah.
open it and see who I want to see and where they are and how we are. And it's, yeah. So
Yep.
use
yeah,
that.
especially people outside. Even the hosts, which we always had kind of highlighted on the right, but if you star them, then they're at the top.
That's right.
It's way better.
I'll just be at the bottom, up the top.
Yeah, we still got to scroll for Nick to
No,
wait.
you weren't last week. So you beat Ben and Evan.
I think we're
Yeah.
still going to get to the place where we're going to figure out a way to do names of some sort is my guess. That's still coming because right now it's still a little difficult to figure out who's who, but we're getting there. The stars made this way better. Josh and I both switched our hats out mid segment. If you're not watching live, we're now wearing the hooligan hats because this segment is presented by Hooligan Disc. They are shipping out prizes. Every single winner gets an email confirming that they can get a prize from Hooligan. They give us their address. We get it. They get it shipped out. Hooligan directly to you. When my son won one of the events last year, he got a sweet like smoky black. I don't remember what the disc mold was, but it looked beautiful. They're shipping stuff out if you win. Besides that, besides Hooligan and their segment sponsor here, Simon Lizotte will be playing a round with the season-long winner of Pop Drop Lock. If you go to the season leaderboard, you can see who that is right now. It's Helpful Jellyfish. You're going to have to beat him. That's my son, Hunter.
That's crazy.
You're going to have to beat him.
That's wild.
And me currently, I'm in third season long. And Josh, you're in top 10.
I'm
You're
in
at 9.
9th. I'm only 38 points behind you, Matt. So I just
Wild.
need a big week.
And my second son is in 6th place season long.
So it's either rigged or the Graham clan's pretty good.
I honestly, they're impressive. They're playing this just as hard as we
Yeah.
are. They listen to the show. They listen to Nick's picks. They go, we're steer far away from those.
I gotta start texting them and saying like, "Hey, who are you guys picking this week? Help me out."
I think they listen to everybody culmination. But seriously, like Hunter really is into it. And you can tell. I mean, he's like, Dad, you got to pick these. And I'm like, man, I'm trying. So I'm in third.
Yeah.
He had an off week. I had an on week. Let's see what happens. But there's other people here in the top 10. Really, I'm gonna be honest. I think anybody that's still in the top, I'm going to scroll a little bit here. The top 55 at least. I don't want to count anybody out. But season leaderboard, if you're even in the top 55, you could even go way farther. You still have a chance to win. I mean, I don't think it's going out
there's
that
so
far on
many
a limb
events
to
left.
say
That's-
if you're in the
yeah.
top 100 easily. You could be top 150 and have a few good weeks. So
Yeah.
you're still in it to play with Simon. We have a listener every week. Shout out to our guy from Wisconsin. he always is like, here's my picks. Man, I want to, all right, I'm back in. I'm going to book my flight to Boston. Oh, man, no, I got to cancel my flight to Boston. So it's a fun game.
That's awesome.
It's a fun game to be playing, and I hope everybody else is obviously enjoying that as they go. Cool. Speaking of Wisconsin, I'm flying out there tomorrow. I've been on a lot of trips lately.
Yeah, holy cow.
And I try to catch around with our friend Evan, the guy who's been hitting us up playing this game, but I'm going to be so busy, Evan. So if you hear this, sorry. Just in and out.
Not this time.
Cool. Well, that was Pop, Drop, Lock, everybody. And Josh, we have some closing conversations, or where are we at?
Yeah, I mean, we just bounce around. I want to come back a little bit just to kind of wrap up, because when we pulled in Paul and Harry. So I think our show predominantly, this isn't by design. I don't even think we like always talk about this, but it's obvious. We follow the Pro Tour, the elite events, and the majors. And then we had this Go Throw Tour kind of pop up in the off season, and there was all this chatter about it's competition. And then it's like, no, it's not competition, right? The Pro Tour has pretty much said that they're still working with them and it's great filler events. I've heard some players react and be like, yeah, I'm not playing any of those events. They just don't seem interested. And then there's other players who are clearly going out and playing them and playing as much disc golf as they can. And I think last week we talked about, or well, I wasn't on last week, so it's got to be at least 2 weeks ago. But how I love the idea of the tour and I want it to succeed, but I'm still confused. Are you, any of you confused? What I mean by that is like, so hear me out. It's hard to follow. You can't see what people are actually getting paid, which by the way is one of the allures of this tour.
What do you mean you can't see them get, like I'm looking at their payouts right now.
Where are you seeing it?
On the gothrowtour.com page, leaderboard /leaderboard. And then like I know Anthony won 7,500, Gavin won 36. Adam
okay, you're right. I see that. That wasn't out there a couple hours ago.
I think, yeah. I don't know if it was you posted it or someone else did, like in our group chat or whatever, or if I just saw it online or whatever. But yeah, no, I saw it when I went to go see the leaderboard. So now, you know,
it just took
there's
forever
no PDGA. Yeah, there's no PDGA page where it's like, here, their career earnings. Like maybe the Go Throw will start the career earnings in the Go Throw Tour. Like little things.
The fact that I can see the pay, actually, it's like I'll immediately like.
No, but don't immediately do that, because like I'm looking as well and I don't see it. So it's obviously not easy. It depends.
They have 2 pages, by the way. There's Go Throw Tour and then there's Go Throw DG.
Yeah, go to gothrowtour.com.
Different websites.
I'm at tour.com. I clicked on the leaderboard.
And then hit round 2.
Of Eagles.
You have to go to
you have to go
Crossing.
to round 2 to see the payout.
Yes.
This is different. We need to be trained.
It's just like an iframe in from a UDisc page, and so it's not.
Yes. I think it's one of those things
honestly,
where, like you just said, Matt. Yeah, like you just said, Matt. I think it's like we just need to train ourselves to do it. Like, does it take
7,500 is a pretty good payout. That's pretty
awesome payout. That's a freaking awesome.
So
payout.
Again, I actually want to really like just frame this a little bit more. I like don't actually even have a desire to like pick on it. Like I think it's still great. There's people out there that are enjoying it. So like I like go out and I still hope they succeed. But then like, is this confusing or am I just missing it? Really, correct me here. This was an invitational only tournament. So like people who are trying to accrue points on the tour, like they couldn't all go after it, right?
Right.
So like,
interesting.
So like what in the world now? Like what if Paul Krans was like, I wanted like points?
So that's the thing. And like even when Paul was talking about like, oh, maybe I wasn't ranked high enough. Like he's a ranked above.
Yeah.
Excuse me. He's ranked above like Cupcake, Jacob Curtis, or other players.
Well, there are a lot. Yeah.
There's lot. That's what I mean. So, like, how are they picking?
So not even everybody got a chance to earn tour points this week. Right?
It is kind of a little bit weird having an invitational kind of be your 3rd event of the season out of 6 events.
And by the way, if you go look at the tour leaderboard, which is on the far left of the page we're talking about, you see an overall points, but then you only see like I only see Hideaway listed, which is like 3 events ago or 2 events ago. So I like, so
to your point,
I
you
have
want to
a lot
follow
of-
as an eager fan.
I want to follow
Yes.
it. This is what I'm saying. So I'm actually like saying, like, I like the product. I told you the post-produced coverage looked incredible. I've got like critiques on it, but like I still love the product. And I'm just like, I actually want to like kind of understand it a little bit more. And here's the thing. I also have a lot of patience for startups. Matt, you and I have run disc golf businesses. Like, so this is not like poo-poo. See, I like told you they weren't going to succeed. That's actually still not it. I'll probably have the same like response all season every time there's an event. Cause I'm kind of like, it was an off week and it would have been cool to be like, hey, like, here's what's happening. But anyway, maybe I'll continue to be patient and just be like, it is what it is. But
I'll
no,
tell you
just
what.
my raw reaction.
Yeah, so my raw reaction is that some of this is out of their control. Some of it. What as far as like getting information up, maybe they'd have to have another volunteer. Maybe someone would have to spend more time than they're able to do.
Yeah.
But like
for
that
sure.
could happen. That's not really like money issue. That's like we could make our own spreadsheet. It could be a Google spreadsheet. Like we can make it easier to look at for the whole thing, all the tabs for it all, they could do it. They could. Again, that's not negative. That's just saying like it could. But when my thing is, I am such a live sports viewer that it is hard for me to follow this. I have to go, oh yeah, that event happened this last weekend. I wonder how it went. Let me pull up the video coverage. And then it's like, well, it's not live. And so some people can say, well, watch it like it's live. I can't. It's like, I see round twos, like for the back nine or this, these things are showing up after the events happened. It's not the same. I can kind of just scroll through, fast forward, see how it's going. Where are they at? 8 holes in, 10, 12. You might say, well, Matt, that's how you're watching it. It's true, but I like to watch sports live. It's hard for me to get as excited about this. I can read the storylines if they're written out. Hey, this is how they performed. Anthony won, Gavin, Adam Hammis. But to this point, Josh, this is your point. I didn't know who won. And maybe that's how they won it because and this is my guess, they want everybody to go watch the coverage because that's the only way they're going to really bring in good sponsorships for their tour is by forcing all the views on that coverage. So
Right.
They are
It's
kind of
primarily a
hiding it
media.
little bit.
Yeah, it's a media product, and I think Luke's talked about. There's a little bit back to the roots. They want a different vibe, provide cool opportunities. So I think it's more than just a media product. I think genuinely they want to provide that alternative to the pro tour on the off weeks, right? So that's kind of like at its base. I think they want to do that, but the product is a media product, and that's right, Matt. And I guess what I'm saying is if your product is a media product, then you've got to like focus on producing the best. And it's more than just the video. That's all I'm getting at.
So-
and it's obviously a critique of what they're doing, but I doubt they're listening, but even if they were, I want to say like, keep going. I'm a cheerleader, but I'm also saying like, we got to figure that out. I can't follow it, which means I'm going to stop following it.
So, yes, and I want to say this last thing because you just brought up a great point. Maybe it was spurred off of me saying it's media that they're trying to be driven to, and you're saying, yes, if they're media, great product, all this stuff. Their video production is, I'm trying to think of the right word to explain it. It's fresh in a lot of ways. And the way that they're doing it, if you haven't viewed it yet, so I want to give them, at least a golf clap for this. Their introduction, it's really great. Like you feel like you're not just opening right up into round coverage. You're opening up into a little bit of docu-series feel. They kind of have this, it's really well done. So if you're curious what I'm talking about, go check it out, how they start their intro. I think the first event they did, it was really long. You almost thought, when is the round going to start long intro? But
Yeah, well, it was 55 minutes for the front nine
right.
today.
Yeah, but right. But I'm also saying like literally the way they're doing it is more like you're watching TV.
Oh, yeah.
They're showing a story. They're trying to build a little story before it comes into it. Like,
Yes.
and
It's
even
cool.
their graphics, I know it's new for them. Like they're doing a lot of things really well. Keep working on those, I'll use the word innovative ideas. I think the different aspect to it is going to be what really helps drive them. Like that's different. Back when it was Jomez and then eventually DGN, everyone was like, like they loved that product so much. That's how they built their following. I feel like GoThrow has that opportunity to keep kind of digging into these little new, unique ideas and growing a following, saying, I love how they do that. Because I'm going to be honest, I do like that a lot, what they're doing with the intro. The coverage,
Yeah.
It's hard to be new and improved, but like they're doing good things to make it their own. So good job.
You know what's interesting? Like I would rather, this is my personality, to be clear for everybody listening. This is not actually saying what they should do, because I don't know. I would rather them not have, like, only produce the best post-produced coverage. Scrap the website thing. I know we would all like poke fun at that, but I'd be like, I don't care. Like, what is your thing that you're good at? And like, throw that a home run.
Excel on that.
Like, just be like, it's all post-produced, and then have a killer Instagram where you put out like your, who won or however you want to handle that. Because then I would just be like, that's where you go. Like, that's where you go for the go-through. Because like, how much did the winner get for Hideaway, Nick?
I am off their page, but give me 1 second.
Take a minute and see if you can go find it.
Taping.
I will try. my
Anyway,
best to
I
find
think
it.
it's cool. Here's another question. We don't have to keep going at length. But why are some players definitely out here playing and others seem to be totally avoiding it? I haven't seen Paul Macbeth play one, right? I haven't seen Simon Lizotte play one. Is this a stage of life thing for them? Or like what draws some players and what doesn't draw others?
I think personally, after talking with Simon and kind of just Paul in general about their lifestyles nowadays, is they both have kids. They both have very young kids, and I think, like you just said, I think it's more of a stage of life thing right now. It's worth it more to them. Look, we both know they have we all know they have massive contracts. Their disc sales are still very, very good. Their apparel sales are still very, very good. Them going to this event and winning $7,500 or $3,600, or maybe they have a horrible weekend and make no money. It's worth it more for them to fly home, spend time with their family, enjoy life that way, and then fly out or drive out to the next event, depending on what they do. But both of them, I'm pretty sure, are driving out or flying out. Excuse me.
Yeah, so I'm probably drilling on an obvious point, but so like, why do they play the Pro Tour events?
Currently right now, I would say there's more structure to a Pro Tour event. Plus, that is the biggest stage in disc golf. Like winning right now, personally, winning a GoThrow event. Like I'm looking at the leaderboard right now. Like I had no idea that Raven Newsom got third at the first one. Had he won it, maybe it'd be a little bit more notable. But at the same time, for players like Simon, Paul, Ricky, whoever, it's not nearly as notable. Winning one of those right now, it just doesn't have enough prestige to it yet. Also, I don't think in anyone's contract there's any sort of bonus structure for winning a GoThrow event currently right now. I know a lot of the
Although
top
I
level
do
players,
wonder if there's media. Some of those player sponsorships have media
there's some,
coverage,
but
so
it
that
has
could
to
be
be
interesting.
but it has to be certain companies that you get filmed by. So Disc Golf Pro Tour and Jomez are the ones filming the Disc Golf Pro Tour, right? Those are two of the main companies that sponsors will say, if you get on their coverage, you get a media bonus. I mean, don't get me wrong, every single contract is different. Maybe GK or GoThrow is part of the contracts too. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's one of the main things. I'm getting an on my page, and I think that's just for some. Oh, here we go. Round 2.
No, there's no money for that.
Yeah, I'm not seeing money on that one.
So
for
that's
the
my point.
Cancer
It's
Playbook
just
Open.
frustrating.
Yep. Yep.
Like again, being hyper picky, so we can move on because I don't want to actually grind them into the ground. But anyway, it's great for players who are going out there. I mean, that's a pretty decent payday, right? AB's probably like, sweet.
Yeah.
$7,500. And by the way, they played an awesome course. How about there were new baskets out there, right? No nubs, a unique design. So I don't know. We'll probably keep seeing. There's some weird like aura with that course though. Like what I mean is I don't know if it's the owner. I don't know if it's the location. I don't know if it's past events that have went off weird. I've heard like things and it's just like, I don't know. It's just kind of a weird mixture of stuff.
I won't.
Otherwise,
I won't go on and on about it, but remember when we asked Big Germ about the live event and he was like laughing and he's like, oh my goodness, worst time of my life. There is something about it. again, whether it's their fault or not, all these different things, there is something about it. It feels like it's trying to be manufactured into place. And someone probably goes, Matt, you're right. They built this whole course with this in mind. This is what they want to do. They are trying to manufacture this. And that's what it feels like. It doesn't feel organic, but I think they might have evaluated and said, if we want to be on the tour, if we want to be if we want to be known and talked about, we're going to have to buy it. We're going to have to manufacture it. I don't know other ways to do it, except they could have started running. And maybe I heard something about this. Like, they don't want to run a C tier for 3 years, make it a B tier, make it an A tier, make it a,
right.
Like, they didn't want to do that. Maybe I feel like I've heard something like that, because otherwise you could do that. Let's host a big event, a 3-day event, B tier or A tier, and let's grow it, like organically. It's not happening that way.
Yeah. Was there FPO at this event?
Yes. Own won it
Okay.
by a good amount, but for some odd reason, that's not on their leaderboard.
Right. Well, I've never seen any FPO stuff
For
on
some
this.
odd reason.
Yeah,
I know. It's funny. It's like,
Like, if you look at the participants, there's only 32, but when you go on the actual UDisc event, like if you go onto your UDisc app and look up the event, there is an FPO division as well on there.
Interesting.
So I'm not really sure if kind of I don't know. This is just one of those things where it's very.
They said
it's
on
very
this show
Disc Golf
that they
World
weren't
Tour.
really focusing
Yes.
on FPO, so I'm not surprised. I was just curious because in the MPO payout, it's somewhere around 20,000, and I thought we were hearing the purse was around 50,000.
50,000. Yeah.
20,000 is not 50,000.
Where are you seeing that it's 20,000? I'm genuinely curious. Just mathing it out.
Mathing it out.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Anyway, hey, it's an off weekend, so this is why we're getting a lot of this kind of like chatter. We're clearly rambling, but yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting in the sport of disc golf to see things kind of grow and mature. We've seen many startups. We've seen things start up, fail. This has a good team behind it and a really great product on the media side, so I imagine it'll succeed. It's probably a question of longevity and what are they really putting into it and getting out of it. So I'm sure we'll continue to see some players hit up some of the events out there. I have nothing else to add on that topic unless any of you do. All right, go ahead, Nick, and then I'm going to move on to unrelated.
I was going to say I'm excited. I am excited to watch the post-round production of it.
It looked beautiful.
Just to see, kind of the uniqueness. I know they've made changes, but they also do a lot out there. They spend a lot of time and they spend a lot of money out there. So in that regards, I am excited to see kind of what it looks like.
And if you haven't seen, maybe you already did. I know what they talked about. I'm not making this whole point. The red jackets, but there's something about that first clip with the red jackets. Tall Paul Oman with the long hair, and kind of the the interesting hat. I'm like, And were they wearing some necklace with like some like gemstone on it? All three of them? Like I don't know if all three were.
Big Germ had a microphone. The other two had some type of stone.
No, Germ had a microphone and a stone, I think. Anyway,
gotcha.
I don't know. I can smile about it because it's fun. I'm not really like whatever. But all right, totally unrelated. Maybe this is our last conversation. It's way too early. I get that. But Nick, in your opinion, who's having a better start to the season, Holland Hanley or Kristen Lott? And to give you context, Holland Hanley is first in Pro Tour points.
Yeah, I mean,
Kristen's second.
Kristen didn't play Supreme Play.
Right?
Kristen didn't play Supreme Play.
So she has 3 events. So, but I mean, Holland's second, first, third.
2, 2, 1, 3.
Right, and then Kristen's first, second, first. So does Kristen get the nod from all 3 of us?
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to it depends on how you.
Yeah, it's a little early.
Impressive. What are we defining impressive as? Like
it's
to me,
way too early.
To me, Holland's
Only 3
is
events
more.
For Kristen.
Yeah, to me, Holland's is more impressive because it's not something that she did last year or the year before. We kind of expect this out of Kristen. We don't out of Holland. So in that regards, I find Holland's kind of start to the season super impressive. I think it's very, 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 very impressive. When I look at Kristen, you say, oh yeah, she got first, second, or first, second, whatever it is. I'm just like, hell yeah, that's what I expect out of Kristen. Like that's the best FPO player in the world right there for you. So
I wasn't on here. I wasn't on here last week, Nick. I was in an airplane or an airport, and I was trying to catch some of it. And I heard you guys being like, "Matt's not here to defend himself," and my YouTube freezes up, and I'm like, "What are they saying?" I went back and listened. I want to just, because it's so funny how that works out. Like, Kristen has the most clutch few holes of what I've ever seen, like actual amazing, incredible performance throws. Right, hole 18 will go down in my mind as her most clutch. Like, she had to park it. Like, she had to get the 2. She didn't have to park. She had to get the 2.
Yeah.
And she did. And that hole is not a high birdie shot, like, at all. Like, that is extremely clutch. For her to come and do it, push the playoff the way it happened, obviously, Silva helped a little bit. I know you guys talked all about this, so I'm not trying to do the recap. I just want to say she deserves that credit for, like, that was clutch. You never hear me say it, but those are clutch moments for sure. She has that apparent clutch gene when she needs it, and I want to see that a lot more. Meaning Silva, Owen, all these other players, Holland, they got to keep pushing her because I want to see that more.
Yeah.
Exciting.
And
stuff.
it's one of the I think we were just kind of kidding around about it.
Yeah.
It's like, did Silva throw it away or did Kristen clutch up and make it? It's one of those things where, like, someone kind of has to throw it away for the other person to win, right? Like, but Silva didn't really throw it away. You could say she threw it away on 17, but Kristen
still had to do what she did.
Yeah, she hit a great putt on 17.
You
she
do what you
threw
have
a
to do.
phenomenal. Yes.
What would have been
Kristen
more?
hasn't. Oh, go ahead.
I don't want to say more impressive, but the only thing that really that question is asking is, like, if Kristen could have come down the last 4 holes and, let's just say birdie and, like, achieved it without Silva messing up, like, then you would say that was, like,
then
all
you can
around
say it was even more
the clutch round of her life or whatever. But, like, she did what she had to do. I want to give her all that credit. She doesn't need it from me, but it was impressive, and I wanted to say it on air. I just saw the Pro Tour post something here as we get ready to close out. They're saying match play is on because they had to push it from Music City Open because it was canceled because of the weather. It's on at least for a few of them, or partial rounds or something. But they just posted a poll that said, is Ricky or Paul going to win in match play tomorrow? So today's Monday. So if you're listening to this on Tuesday, that's the day that they're doing it, the match play. And I'm guessing based off of their post here, and they said who's going to win, and they already have poll results in. I don't know if you guys can see it. What do you think the masses said, Paul or Ricky?
I think the masses.
I don't see it, but the masses said Paul, 60-40.
I was going to say like 52-48 in Paul's favor.
Wow, you guys are really close. You're split the difference. 54-46. So, like, that was really close, guys, to Macbeth. So it's the fans. They're rooting for Paul. Like, they want Paul. They're seeing this like, oh, Paul. Like I said, they don't want to rush yet that he's back, but they want it so bad. They're going to keep rooting for him. So that'll be fun to watch and see how that actually plays out, because I think match play is pretty fun.
Yeah. So as we're getting close to the end, I was going to mention, so you did. So, yeah, match play, check that out. We thought we were teed up for that at MCO, but they literally had to weather the storm. Champions Cup, we can talk about this. We have a whole year. But 2026 Champions Cup is actually what I'm getting at, right? It's not back in Georgia. So they're playing that again in Lynchburg.
They are going to Lynchburg, to New London.
Yep, the revised New London course, right? So we'll all be paying attention to see details there. And then maybe this is our last thing to wrap up. I get a kick out of this. Early in the show, I asked you all to, comparing golf versus disc golf. And there's so many things. If it's like quality of media coverage, Matt, we talked about the culture of the sport. How much money do we have versus them, the legacy, the history, the flight. But did you all get a kick out of every time somebody on the course interrupts the flight of a disc, there's an uproar and saying this would never happen in golf.
I know where you're going.
Literally, I'm talking, there are quotes of that. You would never see this happen. And literally in the top event of the whole year. Nick, did you see this?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Volunteers on the course.
Holding a flag. Yes, no. It wasn't it was a caddy.
Yeah, but I think I don't think he's a regular caddy.
It was
not a regular caddy.
It was an official wearing a white jumpsuit.
Yes, with the flag.
It was different.
I guess that's
it
how
was
they
something
do it
different.
Something.
Yeah, it was something different on the course, Nick. I agree. I had the original reaction to you.
Okay.
Regardless, whether he should or shouldn't have been there, the golfer obviously was playing up on him. Maybe they could have waited if they know they're hitting. You can have all those debates, but still, the point is as soon as you get human beings involved in a sport, something's going to happen sometimes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean we accept it at the Masters tournament either, right? I'm sure there was a conversation about how the heck that should never have happened.
That was awesome. Yeah.
It was like the
I was
zooming
trying
into
to
the
figure out how
Matrix
to pull
quick.
this
That
up
was
for
so
people
cool.
to see.
Yeah.
But,
Yes, I do remember seeing
But it's
that.
just like, hey, it's just part of the sport, which is what I say
Yeah.
in disc golf too. It's like you don't accept it. You don't say
Yes.
it's okay,
How
but
do
you
we
can
improve
simultaneously
on
say
this?
that should never
Yes.
happen and also not overreact.
Mhm. Mhm.
What were you going to say, Nick? The same thing?
Yeah, exactly. I think you said it perfectly. When you bring a human involved, there's going to be human error. You can blame the player. You can blame the volunteer. Who knows? It could have been a paid staffer. It doesn't even have to be a volunteer. It could have been someone on the paid staff
Yeah, and maybe
from
he
Augusta
was.
National.
But I love
And-
the, did you hear the golfer? He's like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
That's what you,
Hold on a second. They can't hear your commentary right now because I got a mic issue, but they can see this. Hold on. So, for those listening, the golf ball just it looks like a comedy. It hits him in the back, and he's just walks over, and he's got the. It looks like it's actually a comedy skit to me, and they're not showing him right now, which is funny because he actually ends up crossing his legs and like leaning on the flag. So it's kind of weird, but that was the short version. Let me see if I can pull this down now. You guys should be back. There you go.
Yeah.
back. Come on, dude.
Yeah. I think I need more context of why was Max Homa hitting with the
I
guy
know.
right there? Did he think the guy was a lot further? Did he expect the guy to move? I don't know. I mean, I just need all the context behind it, which I'm sure
Maybe it
Max
was a
Homa
caddy.
he's very. I don't. That's the caddy jumpsuit, but it did say on the thing. It said
It said caddy.
Augusta official. Oh, I thought it said official.
Yeah.
So I don't know
It's-
what it is, but
we're-
why does
we're
he have a
not
flag?
experts.
Why isn't he on the
whatever he
green?
is. Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah,
It's like
it didn't even look like a green in front of him.
No,
kind of
it's
thing.
like he's in the
So that's where
fairway.
I was kind of I don't know. I need more context behind it, but it sucks.
Right. But my main
It
point is
sucks.
see, we can
Yeah.
chuckle about this and even make fun of it a little bit. And what I'm
Yeah.
saying is it's okay if it happens in disc golf. And when I say okay, I don't mean we want that.
Yeah.
We should do everything we can to avoid it.
Yeah.
And we can even critique the people who make the mistake, just like we could probably critique how the heck did this fairway marshal, which is, by the way, I'm reading it. A fairway marshal interferes with the shot. I don't know how that works at the Masters, right? But there's a fairway marshal out there holding a flag, and he gets walloped with a ball,
Yeah.
and I love it. So
Thank you, Jeffrey Toro, for the super chat. We don't get them often, so I called it out. When's Matt starting a beard care product line? I'm not going to do that. This is all natural, I think. I don't put any like beard oils or anything now. I used to do that. It's all scam. Well, maybe
Dang.
not.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends if you like feeling my beard or if I like feeling my beard, maybe. But,
Yeah.
but anyways, no. Thank you guys for.
oh, by the way, like I'm sorry, Matt, I'm
Go ahead.
interrupting because I'm just reading it, and it makes the story funnier to me. Yeah, he's a fairway marshal. He's holding a yellow flag to help direct traffic.
Okay.
So, Nick, I mean, this is the point. Is like weirdness happens, and like.
Yeah.
That literally sounds like it could be a disc golf story, right? There was
Yeah.
a volunteer out there with a flag trying to direct traffic, and he steps right in front of Ricky's drive. And
Yeah.
come on, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Honestly,
Yeah.
it's weird. I already said it in the video I showed because it was like a reel or whatever they call them on YouTube, shorts.
Yeah.
He walks off camera on the shorts, but like if you watch the full thing, Nick, it's awkward.
oh, it says he buckled over.
He walks
Yeah.
over near it and he's like, and then
He
he
walked over
literally
near the ball.
crosses his legs and like leans. It's weird. Like he's like, oh, okay, that
Yeah.
was weird. And I'm like, dude, that is weird and awkward. So
He's
okay.
probably wondering why the hell he hit it, but yeah, I have no idea. I mean, like I said,
Anyway.
it sucks. Human error on multiple parties, and you know,
Another super chat. Would you take a hit from your favorite disc golfer if the shot got on ESPN? No, I don't want to be on ESPN for getting hit. That's my answer. Thanks,
Yeah,
Dogson, for the super
yeah,
chat.
That's a good point.
Remember though? Okay, there's a
Depends.
few. We should do this. Some
Oh,
point.
there's a lot
Make
of good
a video
like, hits.
ranking the
Ricky
worst
hit
hits.
somebody. Eagle like plowed the cameraman.
Oh, Eagle
I don't
cracked
ever
the head
wanna watch
open of
that
that one
again.
guy. Ricky
But I-
in the fairway of a
Ricky
of a
hit
There
one.
was some post produced where Ricky was throwing long. I don't remember the course. It was cutting around the corner, and you hear it sounds like a stick hitting a tree.
Yeah.
And the guy's
Whack.
like, ah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, can you imagine?
Oh, I hate laughing about it.
Oh, obviously it's funny when they're not
Yeah.
literally injured. The eagle, the
Yeah.
guy who got hit by
He was
eagle,
the
I
Eagle,
know
but
he had
that, dude,
stitches.
that was
And
tough.
like
Fun
you know,
fact.
you get hit wrong, it's changing your life. But
Yeah.
man,
Fun fact, I got filmed in a round by that guy who got cracked in the head. It was a glow
all
ray.
right.
Yeah.
He came out and I'm like, how's your head? We're playing in the dark with glow disc. I'm like, how about you stay behind us?
Yeah. Yeah.
Brutal.
But anyways, this was another.
Well,
this is
congrats
not-
to Ben.
Yeah, this is not off season, but this is us just rambling
Off week.
all
Show
over
week.
because there's so many little things that we talked about.
Yeah.
We're back to the tour grind. Kansas City wide open. I have a lot of family out there, so I like the idea of Kansas City. Played this course. It's fun. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
And
Yep.
then our first major of the year is after that. So just
Great.
teeing you up. There's going to be
Ooh,
a lot
yeah.
happening. First major of the year.
Very cool.
Excellent. This is not our longest show ever. That's good.
Nope, but it's not our shortest either. So thank you everybody for tuning in on this awesome Monday night of Staggered Stance. We appreciate Titan Disc Golf and Hooligan Discs for being a massive part of the show and helping us keep going every single week. Please use our discount codes and go check out their websites to shop for all of your disc golf needs. Let's see. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube channel. Check out DGN KC Wide Open coming up this week, and make sure you get into Pop Drop Lock. Super easy to sign up. Get in. Tell all your friends about it. Star each other and have a good time playing it. Tell someone you love them this week, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
That's right. Again, thanks to Titan Disc Golf presenting Staggered Stance. This full season, epic. And shout out to Matt Schlabach. He just won the tournament in the MPO,
MPO
division.
tournament.
Go check him out on
He
there.
did.
But TitanDiscGolf.com presenting every episode. Man, my life is a blur. A lot of things coming up. Oh, shout out. We've got that Paul Macbeth charity round auction winner round. We're getting that in next Saturday. Excited to do that with a guy you may be familiar, Arnold of Flying Saucers Disc.
Hey.
It's gonna be a fun round. Maple Hill. I think he's bringing a few friends. We're gonna get the whole experience. I think barbecue, the whole 9 yards. It's gonna be a good day. Maple Hill, everybody. Paul Macbeth Charity Foundation, or Paul Macbeth Foundation Charity Auction winner. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
We're excited to do that. Catch you guys out there. Until next time, I guess we'll see you there. Ben, if you're still watching, or hopefully you're
Congrats.
enjoying your marriage right now. Wait, I mean like with your family.
Yeah.
Peace out, everybody.